Hey guys, me David, and today we're going to be talking some Star Wars Battlefront 2. I am hyped up for this new game, guys, and I'm just so excited. So today I'm going to be giving you guys a general overview of what we know so far. I'm going to be talking about some main points. I'm not going to try to go too in-depth. Just got to kind of go over the surface, and then in separate videos later, I'll be going more in depth on each of these separate points, like vehicles, heroes, the new point system, the campaign mode definitely, and all that stuff. But in this video, guys, we're just going to be going over the general idea of Star Wars Battlefront 2 and not glazing over, kind of going around the edges of some of the main points. And I'm just going to give you guys a general overview of this new game. So guys, the first thing I'm going to be talking about is pre-ordering. This game comes out in November 2017. Right now it's June, so we still have a good 4.5 months to get ready for this new game and to learn as much about it as we can. And one of those things is pre-ordering. So there's two different versions of the game. There's the Standard Edition, and then there's the Elite Trooper Deluxe Edition. And I'm going to be going over both of those, what you get for pre-ordering, and I will be going in-depth on this in a separate video, because it's just too much to go into right now. I'll be giving you my thoughts on should you pre-order or should you not in my next video. But right now, I'm just going to be going over what you will get. So if you pre-order the Standard Edition of Star Wars Battlefront 2 for $60, you'll get early access to the Star Wars Battlefront 2 multiplayer beta coming in fall 2017. And instant access to Yoda's Epic Lightsaber Mastery and Star Wars Battlefront 2 Last Jedi Heroes Pack, with exclusive Star Wars The Last Jedi outfits for Kylo Ren and Rey, instant access to 6 Hero and Starfighter Epic Star Cards. We don't know exactly what Epic Star Cards are yet. All we basically know is there's going to be different levels of Star Card this year, instead of just being one basic Star Card. There's going to be different levels. So you can basically upgrade your star cards, is what it sounds like. So you get the epic star cards for Kylo Ren, Power Reach, and Solid Freeze. And for Rey, you would get Farsight and Deep Mind. For Starfighters, you would get the Enhanced Auxiliary Power and First Order Ship Upgrade. We don't know if that's going to be talking about TIE Fighters or something larger like the Finalizer, for example. And then you'll also get instant access to Star Wars The Last Jedi Millennium Falcon with updated sounds and appearance. So kind of interesting there, I guess. And then if you pre-order the Deluxe Edition for $80, you will get access to the game 3 days early. So on November 14th, the regular game will release November 17th. So you get a free day. You'll get a 3-day head start on that game. You'll also get upgraded versions of 4 trooper classes: Officer, Assault, Heavy, and Specialist. Those are the 4 different classes in the new game, since this is a class-based game. So it sounds like you'll get upgraded versions of those somehow. 4 epic ability upgrades, 1 for each trooper class, again, Officer, Assault, Heavy, Specialist. Early access to the Star Wars Battlefront 2 multiplayer beta coming in fall 2017. So I'd assume that'd be around October that the beta will be coming out. Instant access to Yoda's Epic Lightsaber Mastery. If you pre-order the Standard Edition, you get, you also get instant access. So you get instant access either way. And then you also get the exclusive outfits for Kylo Ren and Rey. And then the 6 Hero and Starfighter Epic Star Cards, the Kylo Ren, Power Reach, Solid Freeze, Rey, Farsight, Deep Mind, and then Starfighter's Enhanced Auxiliary Power and First Order Ship Upgrade. And then also instant access to Star Wars The Last Jedi Millennium Falcon with updated sounds and appearance. So that's basically what you get if you pre-order the games. So Standard Edition, again, is $60, and then Deluxe Edition for $80. So it'd probably be a good idea to pre-order so that you can get these things, but I will have a separate video going more in depth. Probably the most important and exciting part for most people in this year's Star Wars Battlefront 2 is going to be the campaign mode for sure. Campaign mode is basically a story mode, and this was very much lacking in Star Wars Battlefront, the 2015 edition. very much lacking. They didn't even have one. And in Star Wars Battlefront 2, we will see a campaign mode featuring protagonist Iden Versio. She is an Imperial Special Forces Inferno Squad member. There is a book called Battlefront II Inferno Squad. I have read the excerpt from it, but I haven't actually read any of the book. That probably would be a good idea to read at some point, because it basically gives you the backstory on Inferno Squad, and it would seem like a really interesting read if you're into Star Wars, and definitely if you're going to get Star Wars Battlefront 2. So basically, Iden Versio, she is like a hardcore Imperial, I guess you could say. Her father works in the army, he's like a high-ranking general, and her mother also has something to do with the Imperial Army, so she's very much tied in with the Imperials. And according to the developers of the game, this will really make the rebels seem like jerks, I guess, in a way, which is really interesting because we get to see an Imperial's point of view for once. We've seen this before, but we really don't understand it. It's just like, oh, they don't like the rebels because they don't, I guess. But now we actually get to understand an Imperial's point of view and really see what they are thinking, and it'll just be a really mind-blowing experience to see this. So the main planet for the campaign mode is a planet called Vardos, and it looks like an urban environment. It has like some red trees, I guess, or red leaf trees. So it looks like a really interesting atmosphere for this campaign mode. And it's definitely very great to finally get a campaign mode in Star Wars Battlefront 2. One of the biggest questions that fans had about this year's game, Star Wars Battlefront 2, was, will there be a skirmish mode? Because we know that skirmish mode came into Star Wars Battlefront kind of late, and fans really wanted to know, will this mode be returning? Will it be changed in any way? And the design director for Star Wars Battlefront 2, Dennis Bronval, actually answered this question, and this is what he said. He's like, the skirmish mode will be returning, but it will be changed. So if you've played Star Wars Battlefront, just the regular Star Wars Battlefront, you'll know skirmish was basically the same thing as multiplayer, like almost exactly, except with AI instead of online players. So he said it'll be changed and it won't be an exact mirror of multiplayer, which will be really good because you can get kind of like a change if you want to play more of a single-player game, but something like multiplayer, but kind of different. And he also said that if you play Walker Assault on Skirmish, there will not be AT-AT on every map. There will be a unique vehicle for each map, or at least a unique vehicle for most of the maps. So you won't just see an AT-AT on every map, because I know that got really boring for me. So on some maps, like Theed, for example, on Naboo, you will see most likely an MTT, I'd assume. That's what was shown in at E3. And other maps, I don't know what they use. They'd probably use an AT-AT on some of them. I honestly don't know what they would use on some of the other maps. Maybe like a droid gunship or something. I honestly have no idea. Just speculating here. But he said it will return, but it will not be an exact mirror of multiplayer. Another big thing that will be making its first appearance in Star Wars Battlefront 2 is going to be the new class system. So instead of just having everyone be basically the same class of soldier, what EA has decided to do is split it up into 4 different classes that you can choose from. There's Specialist, Assault, Heavy, and Officer. So Specialist would be more of your sniper class, kind of light artillery, long-range type of class. Assault would be more of the, I want to say average kind of class, but they're like your regular soldiers, infantry type stuff. Heavy is more heavy, so it would be more of the heavy duty, I guess. Yeah, like heavy duty soldiers and stuff. And then Officer is like more of the they wouldn't have as heavy of weapons, but they'd have more tactical weapons, kind of like, I know they have proximity bombs and infantry turrets, which can be very helpful in a lot of situations. So what EA has said is you can choose your class, and then you can also change your star cards to fit your playstyle. And you have to choose a blaster mostly based on your class, but you can change up your blaster to fit your playstyle. And also, you can change your loadout now before you spawn, so you don't have to be stuck with one loadout. You can change your loadout. That's very great, because if you're going into a different situation at the end of the game than you were at the beginning of the game, you can finally change your loadout so that you're not stuck with the same loadout the whole game, because I know that really sucked in Star Wars Battlefront. So I'm so glad that they've changed that, and I'm very excited to see how this class system works out. Another thing that a lot of fans were looking forward to is customizable characters this year in Star Wars Battlefront 2. So EA has said that you will be able to customize your characters. This is mostly based around clone troopers, but I do assume that you will be able to somehow customize your droids, stormtroopers, whatever. But it was mostly on display with the clone troopers, so you can basically like choose your color, you can choose your weapons, you can actually change the grip on your blaster. You can also change the scope, which is really like, that's just like one of those minor details that you don't really think about, but it'd be like really interesting to be able to pick a custom scope. But EA has said that there will be no pink and zebra stripes. So apparently that was requested. I'm not sure who requested that. I guess it would be kind of interesting to see pink and zebra stripe clone troopers flying around, but EA said no to that because they want to keep it realistic. So I guess whoever wanted pink and zebra stripe clone troopers can be sad now, but I'm fine with not having pink and zebra stripe personally. I don't feel like that's really needed. I mean, maybe what they should have let you do is let you have that for like single player modes, like the missions or skirmish or something, but not for multiplayer. But I understand why they did that, because in regular Star Wars you don't see like pink jet troopers just like wee. So I feel like it's a good thing they left that out. But I'm sure some people will be upset. But definitely a great thing that we can finally customize our characters instead of just, in Star Wars Battlefront you could customize them, I guess. I mean, you could pick your blaster and your star cards and then like choose an appearance is what they called it, but you couldn't really customize your character. So I'm very glad that we're able to do this now. I feel like this is really going to help the game, and I want to see how it turns out. As we saw in the Star Wars Battlefront 2 trailer, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is going to include all eras, which is definitely very great. So it'll include the prequel trilogy, original trilogy, and sequel trilogy. So that means you'll get clones versus droids gameplay, stormtroopers versus rebels, and then resistance versus the First Order. This is definitely a great thing that EA has done. I'm so glad they didn't just limit it to Clone Wars or limit it to original trilogy or prequel trilogy or sequel trilogy or anything. They left it open, but it does not sound like you'll be able to do something like droids against resistance fighters or something, or stormtroopers against clone troopers. EA has said that there will probably be cross-era hero gameplay, meaning you might be able to pit Rey against Darth Vader or a Kylo Ren against a Luke Skywalker, for example. But it seems like, from what we've heard, that will be limited to the heroes and not to the actual infantry. It would be kind of interesting if you could use it with the infantry, but I understand why they didn't do that. Just wouldn't be that realistic. Maybe they'll let us do it in single player. I feel like that'd be kind of interesting. But I'm definitely glad that they left the hero gameplay open, so that you can see how Rey would match up against Darth Vader or something like that. That'd just be so cool. Definitely very good. And like we saw at E3, Rey was pitted against Darth Maul. So definitely two heroes that would never... They weren't even in the same time period. But of course, that was the pre-alpha launch. So we don't know what we're going to be seeing in the future. But there have been hints about cross-era hero gameplay. But it's kind of been pushed away that there won't be any cross-era infantry soldier gameplay. So a little disappointing, not really. So I think it's fine, and I definitely want to see how this is going to turn out in the new game.